What's up, guys? Welcome to my UFC Vegas 105 review. Today we'll be reviewing the main card that happened. I only watched the main card because it was at 3 a.m. and I slept kind of late last night, so I had to get some sleep before waking up to watch it, so I could have like full focus for my reviews. But yeah, I enjoyed the main card. It wasn't boring in my eyes. Yeah, let's get into it. Let's start with the main event. We had Josh Emmett versus Lerone Murphy. With Lerone Murphy coming in with a 7-fight win streak. His last win was against Dan Ige at UFC 308. With this one, I can't lie, because Dan Ige managed to knock Lerone Murphy down. I was really interested to see how Lerone Murphy would fare against the hardest hitter in 145, Josh Emmett. And obviously, Josh Emmett is coming from that crazy knockout against Bryce Mitchell. So yeah, this was a pretty interesting matchup. I gave round one to Josh Emmett. It was 10-9 Josh Emmett in round one. It was close, but he was more active. It seemed like Lerone Murphy was kind of making reads and was fighting on the outside as well. But yeah, Josh Emmett was more active. He was mixing up the body and head combos, walking Murphy down. Like I said, Murphy was fighting on the outside. He threw some good calf kicks. And then yeah, Murphy cut him with an elbow when Emmett was trying to come on the inside. But for me, Josh Emmett took that first round, and he got a late takedown as well when he caught Murphy's kick. Second round, I gave to Lerone Murphy. Josh Emmett with the surprising approach. Shooting for takedowns, and he obviously landed that very good slam on Murphy. And that was pretty impressive. But yeah, on the feet, Murphy was more active. He threw a nice spinning kick to the body. His leg kicks were more effective. He threw a nice knee in the clinch, and he landed a few punches. So yeah, good outside fighting by Murphy here. He took the second round for me. The third round, similar story. Murphy took this one for me. He was more active on the feet. Still putting in the leg kicks and the body kicks. To keep that range, to keep Emmett from fighting on the inside, because Emmett is a heavy hitter, man. So you gotta keep him out of range. And every time Emmett would try to come on the inside, Murphy would try to throw elbows here and there, and some of them landed, but. Yeah, round three I gave to Murphy. Round four we saw more from Josh Emmett. I gave this one to Josh Emmett, 10-9 Josh Emmett. Emmett's boxing here was very clean. He threw good right hands, good counters, good combos. He just put on more pressure here. He tagged Murphy a couple of times. Murphy still with the kicks, but that wasn't enough for this round. Yeah, going into round five, in my eyes, it was 2-2. So yeah, I was hoping that Emmett would take it, but Murphy took this one. He was more active. The leg kicks were good again. He threw another nice body kick, and he almost knocked Josh Emmett down with that counter left hook. Yeah, once that counter left hook had landed, I just knew that okay, yeah, Murphy's taking this fight. Yeah, Murphy took the round. The outside fighting and the kicking was brilliant, man. And he was just more active in this round. So yeah, my scorecard was 49-48 to Lerone Murphy. So with this one, I saw people criticizing Lerone Murphy for running. Again, many MMA fans aren't educated. That was, in hindsight, a very good strategy. As much as it wasn't that entertaining, but man, sometimes you have to put efficiency over entertainment, man. Not sometimes, I think you always have to do that. You have to do what works. And yeah, fighting on the outside so that he doesn't trade a lot with Josh Emmett. Like I said, who's the hardest hitter in 145. So what he did was to stay on the outside and destroy the lead leg, and that worked to a T, man. You could see in the fourth round, Josh Emmett just wasn't there, man. So yeah, that was a great tactic, staying on the outside, destroying the lead leg, kicking the body. It just slowed Josh Emmett down a lot, and Murphy was able to take advantage of that. And yeah, man, and that was that was a good performance. I don't like that he got booed by the Apex, man. It's just that wasn't nice to see, man. This is MMA, man. Just yeah, man. Come on. So nice one to Lerone Murphy. So what's next for Lerone Murphy then? Obviously, he's gonna move up the rankings into the top 10. Well, he's 10th, but he's gonna move up the rankings. I'd like to see him against maybe a Movsar Evloev or maybe an Arnold Allen. No, but that won't happen because they're two Englishmen, so I doubt they'd fight, But yeah, I want to see Murphy against Movsar Evloev personally. I think that would be a great fight. So yeah, I want that for him, man. And then the co-main event, Joanderson Brito versus Pat Sabatini. My scorecard here was 30-26 Sabatini. Utter dominance from Sabatini, Joanderson Brito came in this fight coming in from a robbery loss against William Gomez at UFC Paris last year. I thought Brito won that fight. Before that fight, Brito was on a 5-fight win streak, all 5 wins coming by finish. So you could see why here he was a favorite to win. Pat Sabatini came in from a submission win against Jonathan Pierce, So yeah, I expected Brito to win this one, but obviously I was very wrong because in round 1, Sabatini had a 10-8 round, man. The perfect grappling round. He took Brito down by catching his kick and just controlled him for the rest of the round. Had Brito on his back, Brito trying to put in a guillotine, but that didn't work. That just made Brito more tired, It had no effect at all. Sabatini didn't do much damage with the ground strikes up until like the last 5 seconds, yeah. But the control and the grappling were very, 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 very good, and yeah, it reminded me of Sean Brady. Like you could see that they trained together, Round 2, very similar to round 1. Brito started off the round by letting his hands go, but that just gave Sabatini an opening to the takedown, which he took very well, and just controlled him like the first round, had him on his back, just smothering him. And yeah, the ground strikes and the ground strikes here and the ground and pound were much better than round 1. Utter dominance. This one was 10-9 to Sabatini. Third round, literally like the second round, Brito starts off by letting his hands go. Sabatini used that as an opening for the takedown, and yeah, controlled him for the rest of the round. Again, good with the ground strikes. Brito again with another guillotine attempt, but which had no effect. Just made him more tired than he was, and yeah, Sabatini won the round. So that was 38-26 for Sabatini. One of the judges gave it 38-26. Well, I think two of the judges gave it 38-26, if I remember correctly. 30-26, I mean, if I remember correctly. And then on to Chang Ho Lee versus Cortavious Romious. Lee coming in from a 4-fight win streak, with his last win coming from a split decision against Zhao Long, and Romious coming from a unanimous decision loss against Gaston Bolangos. The first round started off with fireworks, man. They both came in swinging, and then Lee got the takedown. He had his control time, and yeah, the scrambles were great here because they got up and Romious got his takedown, and then yeah, Lee took his back, locked in a body triangle, and just ground and pound. He cut Romious there. Yeah, man, it was a lot of this round was on the ground, and Lee did more on the ground than Romious. And yeah, he had more ground strikes. So for me, Lee took the first round. He had more control time and a submission attempt, the rear naked choke attempt. And then round 2 is where Lee got the TKO. His ground game here was just impressive. Ramirez took him down first, took his back, and then Lee hit a nice reversal and scrambled and ended up on top. Pause, man. And yeah, got a bit of control time and ground and pound. Did a transition. He took Ramirez's back, locked in a body triangle, and just hammer blowed him until the ref stopped it. That was a great short fight, man. I enjoyed it a lot. The scrambles here were amazing to watch. And like I said, I'm starting to enjoy these fights where there's great grappling scrambles, man. Because ever since Evloev and Aljo, I've just started appreciating the grappling side of MMA more, And then on to Brad Tavares versus Gerald Meerschaert. I can't lie, I'll just say Gerald because I don't know how to pronounce his surname. But yeah, my scorecard here was 29-28 Tavares. This fight was an orthodox versus southpaw, so I was interested to see what's going to happen in the lead hand battle. With Gerald coming in from a loss against Renier de Ridder. Yeah, and then Tavares coming in from a loss against Jun Young Park. So both are coming into this fight with losses. The first round was a great round for Tavares. Very good striking round. Really letting his hands go. He won the battle of the lead hands, like I said. And yeah, man, the boxing was good. He was piecing Gerald up with the right hand, that rear right hand. Caught him many times with the straight rights. Hiding the straight rights with the jabs, so the 1-2 combos, man. Yeah, he lit Gerald up many times. So yeah, that one was 10-9 for Tavares. Second round was closer because Gerald, tried applying more pressure. Well, he applied more pressure. He let his hands go. He started moving forward more and attacking more, but Tavares still lit him up with the right hand. Still rocked him. I remember this one time he rocked Gerald, and yeah, also knocked him down with a leg kick. So with this one, Tavares still edged it for me because although Gerald upped the pressure, Tavares still caught him many times with the right and also knocked him down with the leg kick. The third round wasn't as exciting as the first two rounds. Most of it was Gerald clinching Tavares on the cage because you could see that Gerald's game plan coming into this fight was to take Tavares down, but Tavares stuffed the takedowns. But yeah, Gerald clinching him on the cage with lots of control time. There wasn't much striking on this round, and I think that control time on the cage and the strikes in the clinch got Gerald the round. But yeah, with this one, my scorecard here, same with the judges' scorecards, was 29-28 Tavares. Tavares did more striking in the first two rounds, and that was enough to win him the fight. And then Ode Osbourne versus Louis Gurule. This was Louis Gurule's official UFC debut. He came into this fight with a 10-0 record, so coming in with a 10-fight win streak. And Ode Osbourne coming in from a close loss to Ronaldo Rodriguez at UFC Noche last year. Yeah, man. In the first round, Osbourne looked faster and crisper on the feet. Tagged him early with a combo. He was very feint heavy. Gurule landed strikes of his own, especially kicks, making reads, and then finally took him down. And then he got some nice control time on the ground. He grappled well with ground strikes here and there, and that gave the run to Gurule for me. Second round, Osbourne locked in, man. Locked in. He let his hands go more. He stuffed the takedown from Gurule, and after that, he just started piecing him up. Hit him with the great 1-2 through jabs, counter striking, and then yeah, man, he knocked Gurule down with a counter left hook, and finished it off with ground and pound. Won by TKO. Nice, simple win for Ode Osbourne. Great win after losing to Lazy Boy at UFC Noche. Like I said, man. And yeah, man, Louis Gurule, welcome to the big time. Welcome to the big time. This is a reality check. This is the UFC, my boy. This is the UFC. First loss on UFC debut, but yeah, man, lots of lessons for him to take from here, man. Osbourne just had too much speed and power, and yeah, another entertaining flyweight fight for me. I love the flyweights, guys. I love the flyweights. I think they're my second favorite weight class after the lightweights, obviously, in terms of like entertainment. Because I don't think I've been bored watching a flyweight fight. Nah, I'm never bored watching a flyweight fight. And then the last fight we're gonna talk about in the main card was Torrez Finney against Robert Valentin. My scorecard here was 30-27 Finney. Took all 3 rounds. But with this one, it was interesting because Finney has 7 wins by knockout, but he decided to be like wrestling heavy, and I think it's because of the height difference. Torrez Finney is 1.73 meters or 173 centimeters, and Robert Valentin is 1.88 meters or 188 centimeters. So yes. Yeah, I think that's the reason why Finney decided to grapple a lot here. Maybe he was just scared of the reach difference, and coming inside and all of that, because it is an advantage at the end of the day for the taller fighter, So I understand why he would be grappling heavier, and that was a smart plan, although it was boring. But like I said in the Emmett and Murphy fight, sometimes you have to take efficiency over entertainment, and that's what Finney did here. In round one, the pressure was relentless from Finney. So he's short and stocky. So yeah, man, pressure with grappling on the cage. He had many takedowns. I think around 6 takedowns. Mostly by picking him up and slamming him down, and just ground control, controlling him by grappling. The striking was little in this round, but yeah, man, the grappling and the pressure from Finney was good enough to win him the round. And round 2 was pretty much the same from Finney. An early slam takedown in round 2, and he controlled the rest of the round. Very little ground and pound here, just purely grappling, man. It was like Khabib grappling, but without the ground and pound, just literally control time. Like when I was watching that fight, I remember I just like thinking of Khabib. I'm like, yeah, man, this is Khabib level pressure. Yeah, the pressure was like Khabib, let me say. But yeah, he couldn't do much on the ground because Valentin had decent ground defense, And then round 3 was kind of interesting, because Valentin finally let his hands go as he was supposed to do in round 1. Now maybe he didn't in round 1 because he wasn't expecting that grappling heavy game. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, he let his hands go early, and that immediately made Finney uncomfortable, and Finney immediately went for the takedown, put him against the cage, and yeah, this one was the most boring round because I swear Dan Magliota literally broke up the clinch 3 times, fam. But yeah, Valentin tried letting his hands go again, but Finney again went for the takedown, going to the clinch on the cage, and Magliota broke it up again. And yeah, man, until Finney got that final takedown, that slam takedown, and yeah, that control time just won Finney the round. And yeah, that was a great fight from Finney. That was great and effective. The pressure was like Khabib, relentless takedowns, relentless pressure. He took Finney to the deep waters. Yeah, not the best style on the eye, but very effective. So yes, guys, that's my review of the UFC Vegas 105 main card. Please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe.